Don, yeah, you know the complicating factor with this whole situation, we have rain-soaked ground out there already. There's just no way to put this additional rainfall that's on the way over the next 24 hours. In fact, some areas up to the northeast of the city, particularly hard hit late yesterday afternoon into the evening hours, Clarence out through Newstead, and there's some rain-swollen streams and creeks already in those areas. We're taking a look now at the hydrographs. These are the computer models of the predicted crests on the area, streams, creeks, and rivers across the area. And this one happens to be on the Allegheny down at Salamanca. The computer model is still forecasting a moderate flood at that location. This is going to be around 10 p.m. Friday night, a forecast crest of 14 feet at that time. We're heading over to Allegheny County now. This is WELLSVILLE. The forecast crest at that site, 11.9 feet. That should be taking place around 4 p.m. Friday afternoon. That would be a minor flood, at least at that location. Now we're heading over to GOWANDA. Now, as Don just indicated, it looks like maybe some of the heaviest of this rain would be toward the Genesee Valley. That's good news for the folks in GOWANDA. This is, of course, not a sure bet at this point, but the forecast crest, 8.9 feet, keeping it below minor flood at that particular location. Now, we're going to have to watch Tonawanda Creek. These are these areas that were hit very hard late yesterday afternoon, early evening, and this is a slow rising creek, so the crest there will not be taking place until about 10 a.m. on Sunday at this particular location. The flood stage is 12 feet. And the forecast is for 11.8, so it's getting right up to that threshold where we might be anticipating some minor flood issues, at least at rapids along Tonawanda Creek. We're tracking the rain for you. Don's going to have much more coming up in a couple minutes.
And the village of Gowanda is still cleaning up from flash flooding earlier this week.
They are taking steps to soften the blow now before more water pours in tonight. News 4's Emily Guggenmuss is live in Gowanda with details there. Emily?
Cattaraugus County is currently under a state of emergency. Right now we're dealing with some rain and wind, and village officials have worked with the DEC to get emergency removal permits to remove large logs from the water and keep it flowing. And residents have done their part to prepare for the storm as well. It's been nonstop going in Gowanda. 2 days after a flood swept through the village, it's time for round two.
Oh, it's a pain, you know. I was up on the hill till a few years ago. We came down. We tested our luck, and we'll see what happens.
Since Tuesday, cleanup efforts have been underway.
You know, my lawn was devastated here, and I just got it looking real nice, too, so we'll fight to get her back.
But cleaning up will have to wait. With more rain on Wednesday, efforts turned to sandbagging. Inmates from Collins Correctional Facility spent the day filling bags. At 9 months pregnant, Emma Traybird is helping bring dozens of sandbags to her neighbors.
I figure I probably had to not load 50-pound bags of sand and put myself into labor.
She's sticking to driving the truck and hoping her baby girl doesn't decide to come tonight.
The doc said any day now. I'm like, all right. He's like, call me if you go into labor. I'm like, okay.
Meanwhile, Jesse's Toy Box is open for business, but owner Dave Gable is still preparing for the storm.
I was over tying some bags shut, and every time we got a break, I'd throw 20 or 30 in my van and bring them over. So I'm packing them up by the door. This, as a business, is kind of ground zero of where the floodwater comes up.
The toy store was hit hard with $30,000 of damage right after it opened in '09. Gable didn't think celebrating the store's 5th anniversary would include preparing for yet another flood.
It's supposed to be 10 years before this happened, like 86, 98, 2009, so we shouldn't be due for another 5 years, but you can't predict Mother Nature.
Officials have removed sticks and logs from the water to minimize as much flooding as possible.
The debris in the water is cleared out. We feel real confident that we've done all that we can.
And while the rain brings anxiety, residents say it also brings a sense of community.
It's amazing to see your neighbors come out, and sometimes the aftermath when it's all cleaned up, it's very positive things have happened in a very negative experience.
And village officials are reminding residents to sign up for Code Red and get alerts for emergency situations. If you haven't done so already, you can sign up through the Cattaraugus County website.